What if I told you that there's a growing number of men right now today that are becoming even more sexless, that only have no access to sex, and even the ones who actually have a little bit of enough charisma to bag a woman to have sex, he's still not getting sex because women are raising their standards to a point where it's more monetized to get in the door. And maybe indirectly, the frustration is leading to more predatory on men. You get what I'm saying? I know it's not
Mhm.
right, but I'm saying, would you be able to kind of understand it from that angle?
No, I watch a lot of SVU that has been on several episodes, so I completely understand that like line of
Yeah,
thinking.
because just imagine over a course of 50 to 100 years,
Mhm.
men, young men, 18, all the way to 40, whatever eligible age you can be in the military, goes out and fight for to create a country where women can safely become independent on their own. Just to create a criteria and withhold the men in their lineage, their bloodline of men, withhold them from something that they actually fought for and designed for you to flourish in.
I was okay. I can acknowledge that, yeah. I be having, because I feel like this. Here's my thing. It's two things that really upset me about men. Outside of that, I love black men. I am a supporter of black men. I want to see them win, right? What makes me angry is women are held accountable for so many things. If he's a bad man, blame his mama. If he's a deadbeat, we don't talk about the deadbeat, we talk about the baby mama. If he was abusive, a lot of times they're like, she's either lying or what did she do to provoke him? If he's a rapist or an SAer, we're talking about what was she wearing or was she too drunk? I feel like that is my entire agenda where I'm just like, please, for the love of God, I don't mean to sound like a person that dislikes or hates black men because I don't. I have a black father, I have a black son, I have a black husband. I love black men. I was raised to be so pro black. If you catch me outside, I be outside sometimes just yelling at people like, hey, like, because I love us. I'm saying I want a more of a of a morale code amongst
We
men.
have
And
that
when I
here. We
meet
talk
good
about
men, I want to be able to express that to you guys because I feel like maybe if you guys become the leaders of the group and rally, it won't be so many bad interactions where I hear so many women saying, this is what happened and that's what happened. Not speaking for myself sometimes. Sometimes I'm speaking for the woman that you haven't even ran across and is saying this happened to her, this was said to her, and I'm letting you know it happened. So if y'all are saying we're the good men that I'm meeting on the panel, hey, get the bad ones in check. The same thing with the police. We don't just fault the police officer that shot the man. We ask for complete police reform. We ask for the good police to like call out the bad ones. That's all I'm saying. That's
Do
all I
do you
want.
know where good men are?
I got one in my house, so I don't know what the
They in
rest
the
of them
house
at.
taking care of their family, right? You in the house taking care of their
I,
family. You know
I
where I
can
live at?
respect it.
I live in the suburbs because my kids need a good school. So
Yeah.
I'm not in the clubs. So I'm not protecting women in the clubs because you're never gonna find me in the club. You probably not gonna find me walking down the street near a bodega because I don't be in the hood. I got kids and they go to a nice school and we in a nice area. So when I meet other good men, most likely they're on the same time. They move to a nice place. They when they meet men like me, we hang out occasionally because we taking care of our families for the most part. So I don't really know, what are you really looking for?
I'm looking for okay, so like if I may ask, how old are you?
32.
Okay, you're 32, right? A lot of times, like even like M. White said, he became a better person later on in age. And that's what I think is the issue. It's not get your more so even like another 32-year-old. It's let's make a group and maybe talk to or put out content for that 22-year-old that comes across your platform, that 25-year-old, or even that 30-year-old, because those 2 years of maturity also might really matter. That's what I'm saying. I'm not necessarily saying make it your personal responsibility to go out to the gas station and protect a woman. I'm saying Start bringing shame back. Make it not cool to leave that girl if you got her pregnant. Make it not cool to just be out here having casual sex if you know that when you do that and you get that girl pregnant, you have no intentions on talking to her ever again. Make it not cool to hit that girl upside her head, no matter how angry the words that came out of her mouth made you. That's what I'm asking
If
for.
we do that,
If
then we gotta make it not cool to have no fault divorce either.
What do you mean? Why do you say that?
If you gonna make it say, if you gonna tell a man he can't leave a girl after getting her pregnant, you gotta tell a woman she can't leave her husband after marrying her.
I think marriage counseling is
Oh,
marriage count,
important and great. I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
well, here's,
mm.
here-
If
well,
the president was getting protected by the Secret Service and the president refused the directives of the Secret Service, what would you say? And the president got shot. Would that be the president's fault or the Secret Service fault? They
Yeah,
said, "Hey."
that's the president's fault.
So if men are telling women to do X, Y, Z, and things happen, like, "Hey, don't go outside wearing X, Y, Z," and they do, and something happens, whose fault is it?
I can take accountability for that, but
Okay.
I'm just saying that like I know we don't live in a perfect world and maybe I'm asking a lot and maybe I
I,
shouldn't be
I
asking
will.
for that.
I don't think
Can
you're
I ask you
asking
this
too much.
question?
I
Let
think
me
you're not
answer a
giving
question
enough.
real quick. Let me ask
Actually,
you a question, and this might not be even a fair perspective, but this is a side of the equation that we never tap into because most of us got charisma or whatever. What if I told you that there's a growing number of men right now today that are becoming even more sexless, that only have no access to sex, and even the ones who actually have a little bit of enough charisma to bag a woman to have sex, he's still not getting sex because women are raising their standards to a point where it's more monetized to get in the door. And maybe indirectly, the frustration is leading to more predatory on men. You get what I'm saying? I know it's not
Mhm.
right, but I'm saying, would you be able to kind of understand it from that angle?
No, I watch a lot of SVU that has been on several episodes, so I completely understand that like line of
Yeah,
thinking.
it's just imagine over a course of 50 to 100 years,
Mhm.
men, young men, 18, all the way to 40, whatever eligible age you can be in the military, goes out and fight for to create a country where women can safely become independent on their own. Just to create a criteria and withhold the men and their lineage, their bloodline of men, withhold them from something that they actually fought for and designed for you to flourish in. That, can you understand how disappointing that is? You know what I'm saying? Can you understand how we paved the way for this country to have this type of freedom for men and women? And then lo and behold, y'all turn y'all backs on us when it comes to relationships, marriage, and sex, which is one of the most one of the most, I would say, most important things a man need, uh, or whatever, as far as desires and stuff. Can't you
Mhm.
see how kind of messed up that is? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying that there isn't because I've actually heard that a lot that there's like a epidemic of like loveless marriages or single men and things of that nature, right? I am wondering what is the solution to that because if a woman is withholding her body, it's not as if we don't have urges the same way as men do. But 9 times out of 10, it's I'm withholding my body because like for women, the drive is connected to the mental. So there's something that isn't equating when that said lone wolf that is never getting any, he's not charismatic because the BS that is
Let me,
happening
let me,
right
let me, let me
now.
make it more precise for you. Just imagine a soldier returning home from duty, and
Hmm.
he can't get no bonds because he don't make six figures. He got to wait till he become a staff sergeant or some shit like that. But he's got to go fight and risk his life for a country full of women that have these crazy outlandish expectations for them to get a relationship. But he can go and die at any minute, so she can go out here and create these crazy standards.
That's that set of standards that men use and the same set of standards that women use. When women say he expects me to have a 40-inch bust down and a BBL and whatever,
No man is
that just came from social media. Nobody's standards in real life are like this. You meet a woman in the bar right now or in Walmart right now, she's 9 times out of
Yeah, not the
10
bar.
going to be willing to share her number with you and go on a date with you or sleep with you just based off of if you are charismatic, if you can hold some type of conversation, and you can at least afford a meal at a simple Copeland's or a Buffalo Wild Wings. Be for
That's the
real.
second time
People
you
are
said
saying
Copeland.
these
You
things
love
on
Copeland,
social
don't
media that aren't real. Those aren't
Lashir,
nobody's standards.
I love
You know the problem
Copeland.
with that?
That was
Wait, you
fire.
think
When-
it's
you?
that
Louisiana
easy?
kitchen.
Fair enough, Laisha. Fair enough. And you know what I would ask those women who bring up social media talking about 40-inch buzz downs? Do you want likes or do you want a husband?
Uh-oh.
And that's true.
Because
Because
if
I've
you
never
want
had a 40-inch bust down, but I had a man, so I don't know.
that's the cusp of the issue, because a lot of women like to derive male attention on social media as the go-to to say this is y'all standard, and they still, and you look at every last one of those women with a 40-inch bust down, and none of them ain't got no man around them. They getting bust down. So do you want the social media likes and the attention, or do you want a husband? Because I guarantee you, I can ask even the worst type of women that ain't no shortage of men in their inbox. They may not get as much attention as the chick on who got her ass cheeks out with a 40-inch bust down online, but you got men in your inbox. Just like Shan be talking about how everybody, you got male attention. So there's a dude in your inbox, ladies. If you looking at the chick on social media, look at your own damn inbox. Don't pay attention to her, because if you want the fucking likes, then get the likes. And you got to do what you got to.
But when you're saying that,
Mm.
but negating the fact of a married man will be with a woman that is buttoned up like a mirror or something like that, and she is the good woman, right? But will be willing to put that marriage in jeopardy for the 40-inch bust down. So then that looks like to us that you valued the 40-inch bust down over the good woman.
And at
Y'all
that
don't
point,
understand men. That's why.